All right. So first question for you, John, is many folks think that when students go to NEQA, they're automatically going to go to a traditional four-year school when they graduate. But that's not always the case. Some will choose to enlist, and then some, like you, will choose to go to an academy. So talk to us about what was your thought process behind choosing to go to a military academy, to a service academy versus a traditional four-year school?
Well, as you said, it is a little unique, and I think that's exactly what I wanted. I wasn't really out for the traditional college experience. I figured that going to academy, not only would I have the opportunity to be a Division I athlete, but it would really help me as a person and develop and become the best leader possible. So I was really interested just in the military aspect afterwards, in the leadership development, and in the opportunity to play Division I sport.
So when you chose the academy, was it for both reasons, football and service, or was it mostly service and then, oh, hey, bonus, I get to play football too?
It was a solid combination, because I was really interested in playing college football. I always had been my whole life. Just my brothers are my role models, and I always wanted to play college football. But at the same time, I had a feeling that regardless of where I would end up playing college football, I would want to serve in the military afterwards. And when I was getting recruited by West Point and just hearing about, the service academy, what it's all about, everything it represents, and all the tradition, it was just very appealing. And it definitely, I was just sold from the moment I talked to the coaches.
All right, so you're in your fourth year there at the academy. What's life like out at West Point?
Life has gotten better just because you become more mature and you get better at dealing with the things that you deal with day to day. So things started off, it was a tough transition. Just that's natural. I think everyone goes through that. Just being here at the academy, especially going from public school to academy, it's different. You don't choose the clothes you wear when you wake up in the morning and things like that. But yeah, being on the fourth year here, I feel like I've matured a lot and I've developed a lot of qualities in myself that I was aiming for coming out of high school. So I feel like I'm a lot better time manager, and just overall everything, classes and my interactions with people, everything has just become so much better. So life is busy, but life is good.
Hey, John, just a question. When we get a lot of students that come back from college, they talk about how NEQA prepared them very well for that experience. I'd just be curious on your take, taking a different path, going to a service academy. How do you feel NEQA prepared you for the path that you took?
Well, I think NEQA did a great job academically preparing me, and I've had a lot of friends here that struggled a little more than I did academically, even though they maybe went to a nice private school in wherever state. I think NEQA, just the academics and also the social life that you can develop with so many students, so many great faculty members. NEQA did a great job, in terms of just preparing us academically and socially. So I've been able to make great relationships here, and I think that's a credit to all the people that I was able to interact with growing up through the NEQA community. And then academically, though I went to a public school, it was a different public experience than some of my other friends here that came from a public school, because there's a good mix of people that came from public and private high schools. But coming from NEQA, just such a big public school, I just think that the academics were great in terms of preparing me for success here.
Very good. Thank you.
All right, so graduation is coming pretty quick here. What are your plans, or what will you be doing in service upon graduation? And I'm sure there might be things you probably can't talk about, but talk about whatever it is you can talk about.
So in early December, we'll have branch night, and that's when I'll officially know. As of right now, my first preference is the infantry. So I'll go serve in the infantry. That'll start in Fort Benning, Georgia. There's a lot of training down there. And then I believe it's in February, we'll have post night, which is where I'll find out where I'll do my platoon leader time, and after initial training, that's where wherever I find out that night, that's where I'll go. So yeah, as of right now, I'm planning on going into the infantry. If not that, maybe armor, which is dealing with tanks and stuff of that nature. So we'll see.
Okay, for the layman person here, what does getting into the infantry mean?
Basically, a lot of the stuff that you see in the movies. So it's the front line. It's that that type of deal. There's 17 different branches that cadets have the opportunity to branch after graduation and commissioning, and we have, let's say, 1,200 cadets in each class roughly. It's not proportionate, so there's 17 different branches, but combat arms, the top three are the top. I guess there's five technically, but infantry, armor, field artillery, those get the most cadets every year. So if I do get the infantry, I'll have roughly 250 classmates with me as well.
All right, so then you go into infantry. How many years are you going to be in service? Is this something that you are planning on for a lifetime as a career military, or is there a certain amount of time that you'll be in?
So I plan on taking things year by year, kind of assignment by assignment too. I feel like that's the best way to go about it. Just having talked to people with experience and, a lot of mentors here, people that have been through the Army, that are still in, that have gotten out. I kind of listen to everyone's advice, and I have a very open mind about it. So the requirement is 5 years of active duty service and 3 years in the reserves, which will put it at 8 years. And as you know, I mean, you can continue and try to make a career out of the military. But as I said, I'm very open-minded about it, and I kind of want to see what opportunities are to come, both in the military and when the time comes, potentially getting out and seeing what the real world has to offer.
All right, so looking back on your 15 or 16-year-old self when you were here at NEQA, what would you say to that young man now? Knowing what you know now, what would you say to him back then?
I would say don't quit and pursue your dreams, because, at some point in everyone's life, you're going to face adversity and you're going to have things that might set you back. But it's the ability to persevere. That's the most important quality I've found in people. And everyone here has different stories. Everyone from NEQA that I went to school with has different stories. And I think just never quit and never give up, because that'll get you as far as you want to go in life.
I could see that in you when you were here too. You had that never give up, never quit mentality too.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to ask a little bit, obviously, on the football end. You not only get to serve our country, but like you recognized earlier, you have the chance to play Division I football. I've read some of your quotes, but maybe you could repeat some of that or add some new information just about what it's meant for you. You put your time in. Here you're in your senior year. You got the chance to start, and you're having a tremendous season this year. I mean, it's been awesome watching you play. I'm really proud of you. But talk to us a little bit about that experience of on the football side of things, about your journey, where you're at this year, and how you're feeling about it.
Yeah, certainly. It's definitely been a journey. And I think that goes hand in hand with my advice to my 15 or 16-year-old self. Just don't give up, and always believe in yourself, because that's the key to success. I feel like, things might not go your way for a year. They might not go your way for 2 years, for 3 years. But you always got to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and you have to understand that if you believe in yourself, then you can get it done. And I feel like that's kind of the way my football career has panned out here. It didn't start off going how I wanted, and that was more out of selfishness, right? So I think that's something that I've really matured and learned in my time here, is just that it's not about you, right? And it's about being a bigger member of the team. So every year I've tried to find my role on the team and do it to the best of my ability. This past year, I'm very thankful we brought in a new defensive coordinator and inside linebackers coach, and they're fantastic coaches, and they saw my ability, and since starting. I've taken the opportunity and run with it. So I'm definitely very thankful for our coaching staff, and it's a credit to everyone that's a part of the Army football program, because just aside from the football aspect, I've learned so many great things about life and leadership. And as much as West Point develops me as a football player, as a cadet, as an athlete, just in all aspects of my life, the football program is just the same. I've learned various different qualities and ways to be a leader, and I've interacted with so many great people that I'm really thankful to call my friends.
Love that. Talk to us a little bit about, for those that might not know, Army does not put names on the back of the jersey. It is on the front. Maybe talk a little bit about that philosophy.
Yeah, well, it is definitely unique. So for us, we do play for the name on the back of our jersey rather than the front, right? But, you still want the representation of family. And I think it's really cool because it also, it's the same as when you're a soldier. We have our names right here on the front, which is why we put that on our jersey. But in reality, we play for the name on the back, which is the Army. And, our program represents a lot more than just a football team, which is different than most programs in the country. We represent a great institution and our United States Army.
If you were to look back this season, or you may choose another time, but what's probably the most proud moment you've had on the football field? Something that was just the biggest highlight that you've had as a collegiate football player?
One of my favorite memories in the program was probably my sophomore year when we beat Houston 70-14, I believe, in the Armed Forces Bowl game, because that was it wasn't the year I had anticipated for myself, right? But as I said, I realized that year that's not what it was all about. And I was a part of a great team with great leaders and just great people to be around. So to end the season the way we did and just absolutely dominate Houston, that was a great win. And that was probably one of my favorite games to be a part of, even though I had practically no role in it. And personally, just being able to start this season and through all the hard work and everything that you have to do, like it takes so much just to be a college football player. And so to see the work pay off, not just for myself, but for everyone around me, to be able to go out there and make plays and play with the people that I'm playing with, because, the guys beside me, that's what it's all about.
Wouldn't it? That pick six?
Oh yeah, that was.
That's got to rank up.
Yeah, the pick six was certainly that was really fun. That was just I've already gave credit to to our coaching staff, our defensive coaches, but that's a huge credit to my inside linebackers coach. That was something that was kind of new this year in terms of how we mess with the quarterback and try to make a play like that. And luckily it came out in the first game, and I think we had the quarterback pretty rattled just with the way we were playing defense that day. So very thankful for that. That was a great memory.
Hey, John, I recently saw online you running the flag out and not knowing exactly what that tradition is. Could you just tell us a little bit about who gets to run the flag? How did that come about and what that meant to you?
Yeah, so every game, our leadership council on the team chooses a player that represents and carries out the black flag. So in the Army football program, Coach Monken has instilled just a never quit mentality. So as I've talked about, and the black flag, as you guys probably know, so a white flag in battle means you're surrendering, and a black flag means we're not going to surrender. And that's the mentality that we take in our approach in every game, right? So our leadership council chooses a guy that has been practicing really hard, has been playing really well, or has the qualities and the characteristics of the black flag. So it is a great deal of pride for me personally to have been selected to run the flag out, especially against a team like the Citadel. So they're a Southern Military Academy. They were coming into Mikey Stadium to play us, and to be able to carry the black flag out, it was a great deal of pride because it represents the Army football program and the brotherhood and everyone around me.
One of the last questions, I've got two more. How does it make you feel to know that even right now, and especially upon graduation, you're going to be serving our country. What is that feeling like, and how has it changed you?
Well, it has definitely changed me, and that's something that's changed throughout my years being at the academy, and kind of the realization that that's next year is when I'll be out in the big army, because being at an academy, you're more focused on being a student. As we've talked about, being a football player, you have different priorities in your life. And next year, being in the big army, I'll actually have soldiers under me, and really serving our country. It's just a great deal of pride. It's another great source of pride, and it's something that I noticed I wanted when I was in high school, and when I chose to come to the academy. And I've put in the time at the academy. I've done my best to develop myself and do all that I can to be ready when the time comes, and I have the ability to lead soldiers. And so I'm really looking forward to it, and it means a great deal of pride, just because I represent the United States Army, and I'm very proud of that.
That's awesome. Last question for you. What advice do you have for current NEQA students who are thinking about joining the military, whether they're thinking about enlisting or going to an academy? What advice would you give to them?
I would say, keep your options open and pursue what you want to pursue. I think it's just a tremendous opportunity. And as we talked about earlier, it's not too common. It's a pretty unique thing to do, especially just coming from a big public high school like Neuqua Valley. But, as we've talked about, Neuqua Valley does a great job preparing us academically, socially, and, I believe if it's in your best interest, you should definitely follow on with it, because it is a great source of pride, and it really helps. It'll develop you a lot, and you'll meet some of the best people in the world.
Awesome. I can't think of any other questions. Mr. Perry, do you have anything?
No, I feel we got a really good, well-rounded interview, John. Really appreciate it, and I can't say enough how proud we are of you, whether you were starting in football or not. That aside, yes, that being a football guy, I absolutely love watching you on Saturdays. It's great to be able to root for you personally out there, as well as the team. But the fact that you went on to serve our country, means a lot. My dad was in the Army. I come from a long line of folks. If I have one regret in my life, I kind of wish I would have taken that route myself prior to going this route. So we're really proud of you, John, and I just really want to say thanks for your service, what you've done up to this point to train and to prepare, and for what's to come in the future. So we're proud of you. You'll always be a Wildcat, and we just so appreciate what you're doing for our country.
No doubt. I'll always be a Wildcat, and I really appreciate you guys and all that you do for the high school. I mean, when I was there, when my older brothers were there, it was such a great place to grow up and go to school, and it's because of faculty members like you guys. So I seriously appreciate it so much. And I told you last time, Ms. Trout, but I'm really thankful that you think of me and you reach out every time. There's events and videos like this. So I want to thank you guys and all your support. And I know, Mr. Perry, you talked about how, even if I wasn't starting in football, I always had the support of, anyone. I mean, you guys, Coach Barry, Coach Jones, Coach Ellinghouse. I mean, people have reached out throughout my time here, through the good and the bad. And that's also what keeps me motivated. So I appreciate you guys.
Hey, I don't want to keep you because I know you're a busy guy, but I echo everything that Mr. Perry said. Thank you so much for taking the time. Whenever I text you or message you to say, hey, would you mind? It's really, really appreciated very much. We are very proud of you on the football field as well as off the football field, with all that you're doing and all that you will be doing. All right, well, good luck with the rest of the football season and the rest of the semester.
Thank you. Tell everyone I say hello.
We will.
See you, buddy. Godspeed.
Take care, John.
Godspeed.